All right, everybody, what's going on? This is your boy Charles Wells, aka C Wells, coming in with my boy DJ for another edition of SWAC Smoke. So we wanted to do a little live show and just try this out and see how things go. So if y'all enjoy this live content, just let us know and we keep this going. So DJ, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. Ready for another episode.
Oh yeah, another episode getting ready. We number 6. This is like the 6th show already. That's amazing to me, man. Time just fly by. Seeing like just yesterday we was even starting to put this together. So we're gonna today talk about recruiting. We got a couple little insights we want to share on our own thoughts about the way our particular schools recruit. So I'm gonna do my little thing now. I'll go and throw that in, and then I'm gonna turn it over to DJ. So as far as with me and Southern, the one thing that a lot of people in the city have been stressing over is local recruiting, bringing in guys from other places, from the town Fruge and the local area high schools. Previous staffs haven't really done that too much. And that's if I had a gripe about Southern, that would be what my gripe is to bring in kids from the area. Like I said, there's 2 high schools within 5 minutes of Southern University that produce good football talent. So I'm noticing that the coaches are working hard on getting those kids from those schools now, and the school, and also they are practicing what they call a tank of gas philosophy, where they bring in kids and recruit kids from the I-10 region, from Houston to Pensacola. Basically, they want to kind of get in there and catch those kids in that area. So that's the one thing that if I had to say I had an issue with, would be bringing in guys from local areas. But I think the staff is doing a better job of that. Previously, in the past, Southern would recruit out of state more than they would recruit in state, and that would bite them in the butt because Grambling was coming to Baton Rouge and cleaning up. So I think you got to try to put a fence around the city as much as you can. I know that when you have kids that live in a city, they don't always want to go to school here. They want to go away. And, Grambling is 4 hours away. That's far enough away from home. And, they got a history. And we also share a city with LSU, which is a Power 5 school. And if they got their eyes on any kid, it's hard for Southern to even really get in contact with kids. So it's really just, hopefully you can put a product on the field that can entice those local kids to coming in, because that's the one thing that I really, really want to see improve is local kids coming in. So I'm going to step on the side, man, because DJ told me he had some things he wanted to share about his experiences. And like I said, I'm just a former rec league basketball player that couldn't dribble or shoot. So I'm going to give it over to somebody who really has some college aspirations. So DJ, why don't you go ahead and let them know what's on your mind?
Yeah, man. So one of the guys commented on the last video that also went to UAPB, and he had some questions concerning why UAPB doesn't recruit the state of Arkansas. So only thing I could do is kind of go back to my time, my personal experience dealing with UAPB and what I saw during that time. Back then, 2007 is when I graduated. Of course, the different coaches at that time. The head coach was Mo Forte, and the coach that basically recruited the area, to my knowledge, was Monty Coleman, which I'm assuming was the guy that made the comment. I'm assuming that was his head coach during 14 to 18 time frame. But I mean, from what I seen during that time, man, kind of to what you talking about, you had guys that came out that was getting looked at by Power 5 schools. UAPB didn't recruit them. They had the mentality of, I don't think I can get him. He going bigger, which is crazy because to me, if I lose out on the kid, I want to go down swinging in my state. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't recruit this guy harder than anybody else. I mean, in Pine Bluff, you got 4 high schools. There's no reason why you can't send somebody to the school once a week, if not more. Like you should be. Everybody in Pine Bluff should know that you going after this kid. But during that time, it wasn't happening. So fast forward to my personal situation. I mean, I don't feel like I was, Power Five material at the time. I was undersized, but I felt like I played pretty good ball. And I believe C. Wells put my highlight video link from my senior year in the comments. So you guys, I did this so you guys could see for yourself. I'm not trying to make the show about me. I'm just kind of driving to a point from a backyard kid. You know what I mean? So my senior year, I rushed for 1,200 yards and averaged 8.4 yards a carry and didn't play in 3 games all the way. I missed time in 3 games and still rushed for 1,200.
Man, that's crazy.
So
I'm sorry I had to jump in here, man. Them numbers are ridiculous. 8.1 per carry?
8.4. 8.4.
Oh my 8, man, that is crazy. That's almost first down every time you took the ball, man. You was definitely a big time dude, man. What classification did you play in?
It was 5A my senior year. That was the second high school I went to. So, yeah. But anyway,
let me step back on the side.
Nah, you good. But basically, I didn't hear from UAPB. I heard from other schools in the state, Division II schools that are outside of Pine Bluff. I didn't hear one thing from UAPB until, well after signing day. And that contact was through my father at that point because there were dead periods with the NCAA and all of that. So Money Coleman during this time asked for a film. When we get a film out here, we're going to offer him. Get him a film. A little while later, we heard nothing. Reach back out. Oh, we lost that one. Get us another one. Got him another one. The same film that y'all can go look at. I'm going to let y'all decide for yourself because I don't talk about myself. But anyway, never heard nothing from him. Didn't hear we don't have a scholarship left. Didn't hear we want you to walk on. Like zero. Nothing. So I really, had a bad taste in my mouth for a long time. And I went to school out there that following year, and I was an athletic trainer, student trainer, because that's what I thought I wanted to do with profession. And anyway, so I was around the program every day. Went to camp and everything my freshman year. Saw the guys every day that they brought in from, like the guy said in the comments, from across the country. They went and got some kids from across the country that was bottom of the barrel in their state. So if you're going to get mediocre guys, why not get mediocre from your own state? Why go to California to get a mediocre guy?
I definitely agree with that. That's if I had to say one thing, I going out of state and getting a kid, you need to get as close to a big dog out of state as you can. Your all state guys from other areas, because you can get a local kid that's like you said, a mediocre kid or a diamond in the rough kid. You can find that in your own area. You don't go out to find, but you don't go out to find worse than what you got at home. It's like you have somebody that you're seeing. You don't see somebody worse than that person. I mean, if you're gonna do something, you find the best of the best. Because you don't want to have lackluster stuff. So, man, I've heard stories like that. I've heard from people, years back. Southern was notorious for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like something I know you didn't know, and I think you assumed that I was super diehard. But for those years, I kind of resented that school. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stay out there my whole college career. I was just really in a funk behind that. I really felt disrespected, and I had other schools showing interest and stuff like that, other places, and want me to walk on. But I just felt like that was a slap in the face, especially when I'm there in practice every day looking at what you brought in. And some of those guys they brought in never really played. They were on the team, but they didn't play. And then when you have guys on the team that tell you, man, I didn't even start in high school. True enough, they were walk-ons, but they got invited to walk on. So I just didn't understand that. So past that, like I'm just now getting to the point after Money Coleman left, I started back rooting for UAPB and you know, kind of getting past that. It's bigger than that. You know, my time is gone. The people I had issues with is gone. So I'm trying to get back to being the fan that I was growing up. Growing up, you couldn't tell me nothing about UAPB. You know what I'm saying? So, but that kind of put a bad, sour taste in my mouth. And along with, I played my quarterback my senior year, signed with Oklahoma State as safety.
Oh,
We didn't see UAPB at practice. There were other coaches there. There were other schools inviting us to games and giving us tickets. I never saw UAPB. And my best friend played across town, which was the school that I left from. He received interest from Arkansas. Then he ended up tearing his ACL. For those who watching, everybody know what I'm talking about. But UAPB didn't come on to him until after he got hurt. But they never came to a game. They never came to the school. Now, these are kids in your backyard that everybody else is interested in but you. It didn't make sense. But I think now when Cedric Thomas came, who I think helped turn the program around to get it to where it's at now, his main agenda was to put a fence around the city and also around the state. So to kind of answer the guy's question, I mean, that's kind of like what I know about it, and I hope it's improved. But he mentioned people like Skelton and David Moore that played for Grambling and Devon Lindsay that went to Grambling out of North Little Rock. I can't speak on those situations because I would have to talk to Skelton and say, hey, did they talk to you? Did they recruit you hard? Or did you just not want to stay in the city? You know, sometimes that's the case. You know, just because a player leave don't mean that they didn't get recruited by the hometown team. But so that would be things I would want to know from some of those guys that did leave. And I'd be okay with the guys leaving, knowing that UAPB at least did recruit as hard as they could to the last day. I mean, that's what I expect out of a school. I mean, I don't care if I think I can get him or not. If he going to Alabama, I'm still, because a lot of times when guys get there, they buried under the depth chart. They get homesick. Stuff happens. First place I'm going to remember is that school that annoyed the heck out of me, that recruited me so hard. That's going to be the first thing in my brain. So as far as speaking on them other guys, I mean, I understand where he's coming from. I don't know. I've heard that they didn't recruit Skelton. I've heard that, but I don't know that to be true. So I can't put that out there like that. But yeah, I mean, there's no answer to it. And then during those times, they had guys from Pine Bluff on the team, you know. So there's no real answer because for everyone that they didn't get, somebody will say, well, such and such from Pine Bluff, he was on the team, you know. So it's all guessing game and opinion based. I guess we'd have to talk to those players and those coaches during that time to really get a full understanding. But my situation is one that I haven't figured it out yet.
But man, that was some good info. Like I say, I didn't know that, so that, you know, I sit back and listen and learn because I love to hear what other people thought. So, you know, as a fan, you say, man, why they not doing this or why they doing this? But coming from another perspective, you get a different idea. And, you know, looking at a city, you know, a city like Baton Rouge is a little bit bigger city. There's certain schools that Southern can't go into necessarily because the coaches don't, you know, they had a problem with Southern years ago, or they just steer kids to LSU or ULL or Louisiana Tech or whatever. So you fight that battle, and recruiting is a two-way street. You know, you can have interest, the kid might not. But like you said, you need to be still contacting because you just never know. You know, that SEC offer that kid waiting for might not ever come. And people feel like they don't want to be a second option, but you just put yourself in position, and that portal is always there. So if kid goes somewhere and get homesick, they hit the portal. They already know you because you already talked to them. They got a better relationship. They might actually come your way. So, like DJ said, his highlight videos in the description of the video below. So click them, check him out, man. He was doing work. He ain't gonna say it himself, but I'm gonna be his hype man. He was doing work. I sat back and watched. I sent it to my family, and they all enjoyed watching it. So he gonna be humble, but I'm not. So I thought he did a good job. And that 8.4 yards per carry, man, we could use you right now. I don't know how your knees are, but we could use you right now.
I ain't no good right now. I'm about 50 pounds heavier. Definitely can't run like that no more. Them 4 days over with.
Oh man. So let's switch gears a little bit, and we're gonna talk about this game coming up Saturday. ESPN 7:00 Eastern time, 6:00 Central time, MEAC SWAC Challenge, Alcorn, North Carolina Central. First game for both teams since 2019. Before we really get into our predictions and things, I just want to say the MEAC SWAC Challenge has been super one-sided. It's been a 10 and the MEAC 4 in this series, and 3 of those wins come from Southern. I'm not saying that to brag because we beat some bad teams in those games, but Prairie View was the only other team to win in 2018, and they beat North Carolina Central. So it's time for the SWAC to start to turn things around. And what better way to start than with Alcorn? So I'm interested to see what Alcorn can do. I'm interested to see what they can do because I think that they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the SWAC.
Yeah, I think this game, I think it should be a blowout, but like we said, Alcorn set out. They didn't play in the spring or last fall, so they ain't seen no live action in a while. Both schools hadn't played, right? North Carolina Central, did they play last year in the spring?
No, they actually, and I looked because I said they didn't, and then I went back and looked. They were supposed to play in the spring, but they canceled all their games, so they didn't play at all, and they didn't play in 2020. So they're coming up just like Alcorn right now. So neither team has the advantage of having any kind of playing time since 2019.
Oh, so it should be a good matchup then. I mean, nobody has the advantage. I'm gonna err on the side of Alcorn just because even prior to them not playing, Alcorn appeared to be the better team. North Carolina Central been struggling a little bit here lately, so unless they just done something to turn it around, it should be a good win for the SWAC.
Yeah, I hope so. And like if gonna be a team like Alcorn that hadn't played in a long time, this is the kind of team you want to play. They have North Carolina Central has a really good running back. He has been me 3 years in a row. Probably second team, but because Jermaine Martin at A&T is a beast, nobody gonna take first team with him. And I think a couple other guys with that. But to make all conference 3 years in a row, no matter first, second team, third, that's a guy, that's a baller. So he's one guy that they're gonna have to keep an eye out on. But the quarterback was a freshman in 2019, and they really struggled at the end of the season with him. They got shut out their last 2 games of the year, and they only threw the ball for about 150 yards per game. So they're gonna really have to improve that kind of stuff. Beat Alcorn. Felix Harper is some people think he's the best quarterback in the SWAC. Some people think he's second best, but he's a great quarterback. They have some great running backs and some tremendous receivers, and they're a physical team. Alcorn is a team that's going to hit you all day, so you have to be ready, and hopefully your backup quarterback is warmed up because they're probably going to put a good hit on your starter, and at least for a series or two, make him sit down for a minute. But I'm wondering if Central is going to keep up the physicality with Alcorn. That's going to be my thing to watch. If they can't keep up with Alcorn in that aspect, they're going to get ran off the field.
Well, one thing Central got going for themselves is quite a few of their coaches came from Southern Jaguars, so they familiar with playing against the SWAC teams too. So they familiar with Alcorn, so they got that going for them.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much Southern familiarity with Alcorn going to help them because we haven't been that successful. But the head coach Trey Oliver was actually the defensive coordinator at Southern a couple years ago, and I think he may have been on the staff the last time Southern beat Alcorn. So their program on the rise. He's only been there a couple years, so he's trying to get the team turned around because North Carolina Central was a top program in the MEAC. And it came on a couple hard times, but you don't want to sleep on these guys because you sleep on somebody, you get rudely awakened. But for anybody who's interested for entertainment purposes, spread is like 14.5 for Alcorn, and the over/under is 52. I don't, if anybody wants that information, I think Alcorn's gonna win it fairly comfortably. I'm gonna go ahead and give my score. I said Alcorn 38, North Carolina Central 21. And I'm really giving Central a couple early touchdowns when Alcorn is still working their way through the game. But I think Alcorn going to win.
I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 24 to 13.
Yeah, that's a score that I think a lot of people, me included, are throwing up high numbers, but there's no guarantee that Alcorn's going to be what they were at the season. Late in the season, they may be clicking, but I know from watching Southern play their first couple games in the spring, that team was really out of sorts. They had the talent, but they were turnover prone, penalty prone. Mistakes they normally wouldn't make, they made because they had been inactive for over a year and a half. So being able to hit somebody else is different. Getting hit by somebody else is different. And I think the team that handles that the best is going to be the team that wins. Turnovers are going to be a key. Alcorn had 21 interceptions in 2019. So if Central can't keep the ball in their hands, Alcorn is going to definitely win. But I'm really hoping for a good game since it's prime time. There's no real other games on TV right now. So this is a game that I'm really eagerly awaiting, and I'm going to be watching.
Oh yeah. God is power.
Yeah, God is power, man. This is our first time being live. I'm gonna chat another live show. I'm gonna work on that. This is we just really trying to see how this is working, and I hope y'all enjoying it. We're gonna work on getting some things a little bit better and more fleshed out. So I appreciate you for watching and chiming in because that's the kind of feedback that we really enjoy and need.
Yeah, and it may be early too. You know what I mean? Some people probably still at work and stuff like that too. So hopefully we get feedback and people let us know, what they like, or if it's too early, or maybe we can kind of get it worked out to where people can join in and communicate.
Oh yeah, like I said, this show is all about being a work in progress, man. We just trying to put out the best that we can. So anything we hear, we take it to heart and we try to apply it as best as we can. Like I said, I've never done live, and I've been thinking about it, but I needed a better option, and this was it. And I know a lot of people appreciating the show, so we're gonna continue to keep bringing y'all what we do, and I hope y'all keep reciprocating the love because it's there. I know a lot of people really enjoying it, and we're gonna probably go ahead and wrap this one up. We coming up on about the 25-minute mark. Next week we may be on a different schedule. Ball season, everybody got different things going on, so we may do it at a different time, but we'll let you know so you can check it out. We're gonna talk about for sure the big game on the season, that everybody's talking about for next week. Jackson State, FAMU, also Grambling, Tennessee State. Nobody, before we get out of here, nobody's talking about Tennessee State. Have you heard anything about them?
I ain't heard nothing. They've been quiet. I even follow some of the players and stuff on social media. I mean, they post a little bit, but it's not. They're not really saying anything. So I think he's kind of like on some "I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you" type stuff.
Well, I got to see what the game times is because both of them games on Sunday, September 5th. But
I think they're like an hour apart, man. It's gonna be hard to watch them.
I might have to pull one up on the phone or something. Well, I'm gonna have to put Grambling on the phone because this is probably one of the few times Jackson State gonna be on the big screen at my house. So
yeah,
I gotta see what Eddie George is gonna do. But like I said, we're gonna come back with some more for y'all. So we like to thank everybody for tuning in for this live show. And you know, we're just gonna continue to grow and do some more. So thank you for the love that y'all showing, and catch us next week.
Yes, sir. Keep throwing out them topics too. Whatever y'all want to talk about, throw some topics out there. We'll definitely get into it.
Yeah, if you got something that's really hard hitting, that definitely let us get into that one. I can get on my soapbox sometimes, so if it's something that you want me to kind of rant about, I'll take a second or two and do that because I enjoy that. You're probably gonna get some of that as the season goes on. So y'all tune in, man. We gotta kind of, I don't know, take type thing going on right now. So we're gonna enjoy. We're gonna keep doing what we do. I don't have anything else to add. DJ, you got anything else you want to throw out there?
Nah. Next week, just be on the lookout for some preseason predictions from us. So we'll tell y'all what we think gonna happen.
Yeah, and I got a couple upsets coming y'all way that first games. Y'all tune in for y'all check out that MEAC SWAC challenge and let SWAC get their 5th win in this series. And one thing I want before we get out of here, and it just crossed, I gotta look at the matchups for the future MEAC SWAC challenge, but they missed the prime opportunity. 2024, they have FAMU and Norfolk State playing. 2025, Southern committed to the MEAC SWAC challenge. They need to do something to get Norfolk State and Southern to play each other.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what we got to do. We got to give FAMU some money to move out the way. Norfolk State can move back, but Totems against Southern, man. Atlanta, I'm already there. So y'all need to make that happen because I want to be there and see that. If anybody out there knows somebody from MEAC SWAC challenge, man, tell them C. Wells want to see Norfolk State and Southern. No offense to FAMU, but I need to see that. So that's it. I'm gonna leave on that mark. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, and we come at y'all.